What is going on, everyone? It's your favorite racing, fighting, and role-playing gaming Jackal Goddrifter, and surprise! This is actually the surprise I was telling you guys about. It is Car X is finally back, but there's a twist to it. This is season 2 of this, basically. Now, due to the fact that Car X Street is delayed for not another year, but I think like a couple of months or so, because they started to figure out some schematics with said game. This game is gonna be to tell you guys along until the game actually comes out. So yeah, I know you guys thinking, well, I thought you already, I said this is gonna be the last time you'll be streaming this game. Well, I say that because of, well, to build some, well, not competition per se, but it's like more like the string you guys along and actually just get you guys to be like, okay, what is gonna stream this time? You never know. But yep, this game is back, and so the thing is, I'm not going with 1 or 2, 1 or 3. This is season 2, so I am actually gonna do something a bit different now. In terms of me just using vehicles in general, I'm gonna be using cars that are basically used in the random number generator, aka that one app that I do usually use in case things happen. And yeah, so I'm gonna go on the app and if I can find it, of course. See, no, that's not it. Where is it? Where is it? Alright, okay, there you go. So it is, so yeah, minimum is, my god, plus 1 to 96. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes and okay, so 6 is the first one, and the second one will be 14. So 6 and 14. So in terms of number 6, I think I know what this car is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's the Hachigo and 14. So let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, no. No. Hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the Hachigo. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna just make, okay, you know what? I'm gonna redo that mess again. Because I don't know if I can actually handle the stress of drifting around with a, base, they're not low power cars per se, but it is what it is. So, number 52, okay. And let's try another one. So 52 is the first one. I got 7, so I'll do another try. 45, okay. 52 and 45. I think, wait. Oh, great. We got over 96 cars. So which one would be number 52? So 4, 7. Okay. That's 10. 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 29, 33, 37, 41, 44. Ah, okay, so 45, that's 15, that's 15, that's 14. So 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Okay. You know what? Forget the number generator. I was gonna just gonna use whatever I wanted to, because I know a lot of these cars are not driftable at best. But so for those that are wondering, I did make some new liveries for this car. But before I do anything else, um, I need to change how the wheels look. No, no, that my goodness. There you go. Go and interesting. All right then. So I'm actually just gonna use um. So I think I'm gonna use the what's that called? I think I'm using the Carrot 2. Yeah, the Carrot 2, the Spectre RS, and I'm going to be using the what's that called? I'll probably use the probably will use these 300ZX and the S14. So yeah, S15, JZX 100, or JZX 110, and then S14 and 300ZX. So literally one Toyota, three Nissans. Cause why the heck not? And as you can see, this is the new livery. This is primarily based off of the Advent Yokohama livery. So there's that. Anyway, it's time for me to actually mess out of it. Cause why the heck not? Anyways, um, gonna create it. So yeah, it's YouTube Live, Goddrifter, C.M. So Springstone as usual. Tire traction is any, drifting is on, time attack is off, clipping points, collision and avoiding is on, night mode is off, shading is by default, class platform multiplayer is on, and the password is off because I'm not, because I don't mess around with the password type thing. Because it's like, okay, how do people find online? It's like, yo, what's the password? Like, the heck? How did I tell you my password? And their probably will get the wrong idea. It's like, yo, the password to the server is like, they need to make it you know what I'm saying? So that's why I usually turn off things like that. But hmm, hold on. Frickin' course. It has been a while since I actually played this game, so um, like I said, it has been a while since I actually played this game. Hmm. Okay, let me check something before I do anything else. they change my controllers? My goodness, I hate when the game does that. It resets the controls that you had, and it's something else entirely. Okay, so in terms of um, so hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I'm now seeing the problem. It is the fact that the Carrot 2 is one of those cars that you had to like mess around with it because most people are like, no, don't use too much camber. That's not gonna help you slide. Like, well, the thing is, camber does help you slide. It's just the fact that how much amount is makes a difference. Hmm. Jesus Christ, 1500 horsepower. Oh my god. Hmm. 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 I think I know what it is. I just need to test it out. My goodness. Alright. Well, yeah. Now I have thought about this thoroughly. Like I legit thought about this, and I even thought of actually asking Discord. But then, in the end of the day, it's my own channel. I can post whatever I wanted to. If it doesn't give me views, then fine. I actually did have fun. I have fun, but still, nonetheless, oh god, still need, still need to come Rachel Clark's Street. Which, by the way, it's not on mobile yet, which is for some reason that's weird. I don't know why is it not on phones yet. It's like, oh yeah, Androids actually can actually get the game. It's like, wait a minute, Car X Street is an Android, but not an iPhone. It's like, well, for specific countries, why? That message, guys, but that's not the point. So yeah, this is actually the new Carrot 2. That I actually not revised livery on, but hey, it's better than my Sparkle replica of it. Oh my god. Alright, time for me to switch to vehicles, cause well, it has been a while, so there's that. Alright. So next is Spectre RS. Another one I actually have gotten. I have many liveries, but I think this is probably my favorite, which is the RSR livery from the Japanese Formula Drift, Formula Drift events, basically. And for those that are quite familiar with the yeah, so for those that are not too familiar with how I usually do things, before I even do anything else, let me just do this, because boom, spectator stuff. Okay, now it's back to normal. Anyway, so for those that are wondering, usually I do talk. What I do is I talk about these things, or me just talking the absolute mess out of your ear, but that's beside the point. So in terms of what these topics are, they're racing cliches, a type of thing that you usually see in racing games that almost all the time you already know what's going to happen. Second thing is vehicle history, which I tell you guys the history on a random vehicle that I actually thought about, and yeah, it's usually kind of like that for the most part. And last but certainly not least, depending on how much time I usually have, I'll usually do one more. Yeah, I usually do one more. What's that called? One more topic, and that is childhood games in a nutshell. And these are the games I actually played as a child that that ranged from me being around basically around 4 all the way to all the way till me being a 12-year-old. So that means that a lot of the games I played, usually, well, either that or actually saw um, my cousins play it, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, and end up playing later in life. But I usually if I play those later in life that I was around, if I was older than 12, then that would count. Just say. So yeah, what you further ado, might as well get for example of this, and let's get started. So, in terms of today's version cliches, uh, this is gonna affect most people that many people did not know, but I feel like um, if there's one game that there's a couple games I know that they just can't do right, and that is licensing for parts. Now, licensing for parts is basically is one of the things that I do miss during the 2000s era, where a lot of the big brands that they usually will offer their full support for free. Keep in mind, and it's not just Midnight Club or Juiced or Juiced 2. No, it's also games like Need for Speed games. Well, okay, now keep in mind when I say the Need for Speed games, I'm talking about the black box era. So that is Hot Pursuit all the way to the Run. And I don't count Hot Pursuit 2010 because that's Cartanian Games, not Black Box. And heck, even the likes of SRS, Serious Syndicate, a game that was made by Namco, actually has stuff like that. And heck, even the likes of the Fast and the Furious game that came out around 2006, aka the year that Tokyo Drift actually came out, the good one, not Showdown, not especially not freaking Crossroads. Like what the heck was that? But that's beside the point. And yeah, those brands were actually real, well, except for the Universal Wings. The Universal Wings are usually they're not branded per se, but these are just labeled yeah, in terms of the in terms of these in terms of the vehicles themselves, like there are some parts that you don't see in racing games anymore. For example, there is feed. There is even though I wouldn't count Arya Mimia was one of those kits that is actually optional. Uh, Same goes with the likes of Sea West, Velside, um, uh, Charge Speed, Varus, and many more. That is basically what it was. It was like the kits are pretty much a lot of people can go for whatever kit they want. Like they can make like they actually have their own bike kits nowadays, and man, I just missed that. I legit missed how bike kits were back in the day, where no other vehicle is the same. Like there are different varieties of said car, but my goodness, it was probably. But the very good example of this is East Underground. East Underground actually has Like you can actually customize any car the way you want it to, as long as you know what you're doing. Same thing on the ground too. You can actually customize custom mess out of, let's say for example, a Honda Civic. Like this is the EM1 SI that came out around 2000, came around late 90s and early 2000s, and it's like, okay, this car should be cool. Like many people usually go for those type of builds. But then again, there are other examples like Juice 2, for example. Um, Juice 2, and even freaking Street Racing Syndicate. That it's like, okay, a lot like this is your car. You can do however the heck you want, whatever the heck you want to it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. It's your car, not anyone else's. Which that is another thing, which is TLDR. It's kind of like being an artist in a way. So the pros of licensing for parts is the fact that these parts usually are, if you're looking for parts, they have to be the current year for said parts, and that in those years, these type of cars usually fade out of existence by the time the new decade starts. What that include? Well, it includes things like Kronzes or Racing Hearts or Lone Hearts, or even stuff like Bomex, Wing West, Charts. Well, no, Charts is still in business, but they just don't know what's for them anymore. Freaking, oh, you know, Velside, there's something, Velside's still making kits. What else? Blitz. Well, yeah, even Blitz was like one of those that usually you need to get something like a Blitz kit for it. But that's all on them, not on anyone else. But the cons of actually licensing for parts is the fact that if they say no, you cannot get said parts. So they have to rely on another sort of brand per se that make the same exact build. Unfortunately, they may not be, like for example, let's say like you wanted to get raised T37s and want to get raised license. Unfortunately, the raised usually don't have usually raised doesn't have any sort of like, not backup per se, but usually like they don't have a specific, not specific brand, but they usually not one of those that usually had a heart of gold and everything else. AKA they usually don't they usually don't share a lot of things, so there's that. That also includes their the licensing. Same thing with Velside, Falcon Tire, any sort of car part brand that you want to get is because of the interesting thing called the freaking internet. That's basically what it is. Yeah, it's actually one of those that actually interested me the most. So yeah, how about it? It's one of those that like, okay, so this is probably my favorite thing of all time in terms of getting how parts wise goes. Usually it's kind of like that. Oh. Sorry about that. But yeah, it is an interesting thing to go for. In case you want to be a little bit different from everyone else. So for you future racing game developers that wanted to actually go for licensing parts, just try to go for the ones that might benefit you the most. Because some companies didn't bother going to said company, and it's like, okay, sure, we'll sponsor the game, we'll provide you the wheels into said game, and yeah, you'll be good. It's like, okay, sweet, all right, let's get on with it. Um, hmm. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. All right. But yeah, in terms of vehicle history, so yeah, I think we'll on to the next one now. I know keep in mind this is usually 30 minutes to an hour, and then to an hour 30 minutes. But I think I'm gonna make this one a little bit shorter than usual. So uh, yeah, there's that. Anyway, so in terms of today's vehicle history, we're gonna be taking a look at one of the most critically acclaimed vehicles that actually happened in a entirety of multiple decades. And here's the thing: if the Mustang didn't exist, the Camaro, this car would never exist in the first place. Anyway, so today I'm going to tell you guys about the Chevrolet Camaro. So the Chevrolet Camaro was basically it was an idea that that actually came out with after 2 years after the Mustang came out, and Chevy was losing their mind. They're like, okay, hold on, how in the world are we going to fight the Mustang with any of our cars? Because I know we got, because here's the thing, the Nova is for the freaking whatever compact that Dodge and Ford were pumping out. I'm pretty sure the Charger and the Galaxy would Charger and Galaxy would have a problem because the Impala and the Chevelle is usually used to well, you know, taking care of the freaking Thunderbird and everything else. And wait a minute, what the heck? So Ford made a new car? And it's a different type of car? We're not ready for those. And yeah, Chevy was in the panic, but none to fear, the Chevrolet Camaro is here. When it comes to the 1967 Chevrolet Camaro, usually it comes with 3 engine options. There is the 325, 350, and the 400, or the 427 cubic inch V8. These 3 engines actually power the Camaro. Guess what? All of them are V8 powered. So that means that it was, leave that long story short, it was pretty gnarly to say the least. Now I need to say, wait a minute. What about the other one? The Dodge Charger? Oh yeah, you talking about the Challenger? Yeah, the Challenger didn't come out until 1970. Yeah, but if you're talking about the Plymouth Barracuda, then yeah, that would make a lot more sense. So yeah, the Camaro would eventually came out around 1967, and everyone loved it. And they're like, oh yeah, sorry, Camaro, no, it's not Camaro. Mustangs are too mainstream. I'm going for a Chevy. It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, I'm going with the Camaro. It's like, wait, what the heck's a Camaro? And then they just look at the Chevy badge and it's like, oh god, he's a Chevy boy now. What in the world happens? It's like, let's just say that I'm not the biggest fan of Sportback design. And by the way, it was like around the time where the Sportback design was actually a thing. So yeah, long story short, the car did wonders for Chevrolet. I guess to the point where the Camaro was one of those cars that was able to be sold pretty well. But that also was along with the Chevelle, the El Camino, the Impala, the Nova, the Nomad, heck even the wait, no, I don't count the Chevrolet. Chevrolet doesn't count. What the heck is that one? Oh. Ah, okay. I was like, what the heck is anyone else? Okay, that's actually a good question. Is this his first time playing this game? Because, oh god. Keep in mind, it has been a month since I started playing this game again. Die at me. Anyways, sorry, this one from 1960. Let's see, from 1967 to 1969, and the 1969 model actually had a facelift, which actually included a bigger bumper, bigger rear bumper, newer headlights that are fixed and not freaking rolled up like that for some unknown reason. And yeah, it also came with a Z28 package. And for those wondering how you can tell the difference between the SS, the RS, and the Z28, the Z28 is more of a performance package that usually came with better cams, better headers, a buff and horsepower overall, and I forgot to mention that the car came with I don't know, the car came with a freaking the car came with a freaking whopping 350 horsepower. Yeah, 350 horsepower, and a Camaro. Keep in mind. And yeah, it was. That's about it. Then the 70s came. The 70s introduced us to the second generation Chevrolet Camaro, which actually gave it a new design. It gave it a, instead of a single taillight, it is dual headlamps. Let's see, it basically gives dual headlamps. They actually give us another and the front end was completely flat for what it was. It was sharp, but it was completely flat. And yeah, it was interesting to say the least. What the heck is the? Oh, I was about to say. But yeah, it was one of those that actually gave us a lot more stuff to do than usual. Dang, dude, that was completely unnecessary. Like, there is such a thing as brakes. my goodness. No, what was that? Oh yeah, so throughout the 70s, it changed designs quite frequently. I think that's what Shelley was around this time, where every single year is a different design of the vehicle. And thanks to something known as the freaking gas crisis, uh, the cars, the cars themselves have gotten smaller, and unfortunately, the engine has gone smaller as well. Which I was wondering, I see. The really good example of that is two cars in particular. One of which was the Monte Carlo, and the other one being the Chevrolet El Camino. Which, keep in mind, was around the time where those two were. How do I say? They were more. I wouldn't say it was rich per se, but it was like. But it was the fact that like not even like around 73, the engine power went from a whopping 475 horsepower to just 215 in like 3 years. And I wish I could say anything with the Camaro, because the Camaro, has like a 350. Unfortunately, in terms of power, it was fuel injected. So, for those who are wondering, usually when it comes to fuel injection, when it comes to the combustible engine, but when it comes to like the one with the freaking air filter on top, usually make around 475 horsepower, which, keep in mind, it's a lot. Like, to the point where it was too much power. But, yeah, big power literally drinks up gas, so take that how you will. And last, sorry, not least, okay, so, not last, sorry, not least, but, yeah, 70s was gone and then into the 80s. The 80s to introduce us to the third generation, which, the first variant of those didn't have a V8. In fact, these were powered either by an inline-4, a V6, or a small block V8. And by small block, I mean they were really small. Like, we're talking 250 cubic inch V8s. And for those wondering how much that leads to, well, yeah, actually try this is a math for you guys. So how much power did it extract? How many kilowatts is a 4-liter V8? The V8, Jesus Christ. And I probably said that wrong, but yeah, it was a really small V8 that I don't know what engine it came from. I'm pretty sure it was the 4th generation Malibu, not 4th generation, 4th generation Chevelle, not Chevelle, Nova. Sorry about that. Though the car looked cool, unfortunately that wasn't the case with its engine. It will be until around the time where I think it was the late 80s, where the Camaro was one of the victims that was, well, nationalized. And nationalized literally means that a Grand National actually beat it. Like, keep in mind, this was around a time where a lot of companies were experimenting with how much power to put on the vehicle. And usually when it comes to say car, it is how do I say it? It was interesting to say the least. But still, nonetheless, it was pretty cool. Um, which for people, it's not as many people think it is. It's literally just that. um, Alright, have that as empty, and there we go. Alright, I'm going to use the final vehicle, which is it's not a class 4. It is the Flash, aka my Blitz um, replica, basically. Now what was I? Oh yeah. So, in terms of how the car did, yeah, Camaro needed more power. So, by the time the 90s came, it got interesting. Now, in terms of how it looked like the 80s model, if the car had turned, well, bubblier. It's kind of like, I say it gotten so bubbly, it was nicknamed the Catfish. Now, so I would say it is an interesting development for Chevrolet per se. Unfortunately for them, the Camaro did not sell so well. Like, it was to the point where, like, around the late 90s, the car got discontinued. And, yeah, it was one of those that literally took its time in trying to get as many customers as possible without any issues. Yeah, for the most part, it was in my pocket. Just give me a moment. Hold on, looking for something. That's not it. Oh my goodness, not again. Sorry, I have issues with my nostrils. Alright. Okay, there we go. Alright. So yeah, that was the end of the 4th generation. Until literally 8 years ago. Now, in terms of the 8 years ago, the 8-year gap, this is around the time where the Mustang was running around like a king, on a celebration festival, where the Mustang virtually and literally ate every single thing in sight, and it got into the new retro look, and it was selling like hotcakes. But it was until around 2010 when the 5th generation Camaro came out, and yeah, it was practically insane. And let's just say that everyone noped the Mustang and go on to get with the Camaro, and the Camaro was like, oh, so now you guys want to buy me after what, 8 years of you guys running around with Mustangs, and here I am, the Camaro that most people didn't want, and now here I am. Most people wanted me because I'm the Camaro, and as I said, I was also the reason why Transformers sell so well. But yeah, it was interesting to say the least. And then the 6th generation of the Camaro came out, and yeah, it sold pretty well. In fact, it has way too many, not way too many, but it's like it had a lot more variants than usual. So they have the base model, which has the 4-cylinder. You got the RS, which is the V6, the SS, which is the V8, and not to mention the Z01 it's not a supercharged V8, but it's still a V8 nonetheless. But it's more powerful than the last generation. The Z01 is a supercharged V8, and the Z01 is a Supercharged V8, but with an aero package. So that included splitters, canards, wings, and not to mention more than 650 horsepower of power to boot. So yeah, it was interesting to say the least. So yeah, in conclusion, the Chevrolet Camaro was probably one of the most diverse generation. Let's see, basically the most diverse Camaro, the most diverse car out of all the generations. It may have the facelift may not be that good, but if it's a good Camaro, then it's a good Camaro. It just depends on how you deal with it. So there's that. So so that was our journey, and welcome to season 2 of what the heck was that? Huh. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So those are new to the channel, welcome to season 2 of my car X live streams. Usually I would say like, okay, this game is not coming back. It's not gonna happen. But it is to let you guys know that, like, even though it will be gone, the newer variant will be better than ever. First and foremost, starting off is me using a 720p and around 60 frames per second. So for those that have seen the very smooth gameplay and not the choppy mess that it was back then, you're welcome. And not to mention the cars themselves are gonna be picked by you guys. So yeah, for those that are in my Discord, or for those that are usually in the channel descriptions, usually there are things like that for the most part. Now, in terms of what's going to happen with Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Mondays it'll be season 2 of Car Extra Racing. Due to the fact that we got another delayed. Like, come on now. We waited more than what, a couple years since then, but yeah, right now it is finally happening. Like, we actually gained confirmation that Car Extra is gonna be in console. But what the heck? Actually, I just realized that that every time I come back, it's a different color. Like, what the heck? The car was blue, now it's yellow. But yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Hope you guys enjoy my new series of car extra racing live streams. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next. Also, be sure to hit the notification bell to be notified of all new stuff coming to the channel. Anyway, you can follow me on Instagram at Goddrifter Productions. You can follow me on Twitter at G27S. Unless they're not least, you can check out intro over Discord, which is in the description down below, at Goddrifter's Garage Museum. Anyway, without any further ado, hope you guys have a dope Monday. Happy Labor Day. This is Goddrifter signing off. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.